Charlie Troop, 1st of the 124, and we were very surprised to end up with this mission. We got here in November, and we'll be here at least going into the summer, and our mission is to house and lodge all the guests of multinational forces Iraq. So ambassadors, generals, celebrities, visiting dignitaries, we take care of them here at the hotel.
This whole complex was built for Saddam Hussein as one of 8 palace complexes for recreation, hunting and sports. The Faw Palace behind you was started in 1989. It was finished right before the first Gulf War began, back in '91. The rest of the buildings were built after that. The lake that we're sitting on, there's actually lakes on the other side of the hotel, are all man-made. The lakes are only about 8 to 10 feet deep. They're paved, so prevent the water from just leaking away into the sands. Saddam Hussein supposedly only visited the Faw Palace about 8 times. The building we're sitting in right now was basically the guest lodge. This whole area was a private resort for Saddam Hussein and his family and high-ranking members of the Ba'ath Party. So there's quite a few large mansions around the lake. Each one would belong to like his mother, supposedly lived in one, which the MNFI commanding general lives in now, and that's where we got this furniture set we're looking at right now.
Army, you guys are all, huh? Right? The JVB, yes, it is. This has kind of been home away from home for me. And I've gone through times of knowing the staff really well and not knowing the staff. And the staff right here, that's from Texas, is amazing. And they're so nice, and it's such an oasis. Because we go out, yesterday our day was 23 hours long, but knowing to come back here to JVB and everything would be taken care of.
This would have been the guest house for people who weren't important enough to have their own house out here. And it was also used for parties and events. That's why we have probably the biggest patio I've ever seen. It's probably like at least 100 yards long, the full length of the building. When we later captured this area, this building, it was not fully furnished.
Well, this furniture we just got from General Odierno in his house, and he took it over from General Petraeus. And the house itself was actually Saddam Hussein's mother's house. So if the furniture goes back that far, you can just see how many transitions has taken place and kind of the history around the furniture. It's made out of Italian wood, and like I said, it's original to the Victory Base complex.
And so the gold and white chairs behind me are supposed to be the chairs that came from the Ba'ath Party house where Saddam and Dan Rather sat in those chairs during Saddam's last interview before the war kicked off in 2003, before the ground invasion.
We know that this was a building that lodged a number of Saddam Hussein's guests. We've actually had an ambassador come here who actually stayed here when the building was under the Saddam Hussein rule. So he told us, he said, the building's changed quite a lot, but the same tacky furniture.
Some of the stuff in here, all the stuff that's gaudy is fake. Nothing is real gold. All the gold chandeliers, all the crystal chandeliers, the small beads are glass. The large beads on the bigger chandeliers are going to be plastic. The gold stuff is either tin or brass. It's plated or gilded to make it look like gold. So he was all about show. Very little substance here.
For me, all of the troops that have come here and worked for everybody have been excellent. These guys appear to set the bar a little bit higher than that. They certainly strive for the highest standard possible, and they're pretty consistent about their delivery at that standard.
So they say the best way to catch fish and to keep fish in the area is to feed them the same time every day. Early in the morning, after breakfast, and they usually come around and they stay.
Saddam Hussein had the lake stocked with game fish. There are Asian stinging catfish, mangar carp, tigress salmon, and a fish called the Aspius vorox, commonly called the asp, and also known as the Saddam bass. It's a smaller fish, probably a little over a foot long, kind of silver, looks like an American bass, and it's supposed to be really, really feisty, good fun to catch. On the back patio, there's a little green square. You put your golf ball on there and knock it off into the lake. A lot of people are shocked that Saddam Hussein got away for so long with spending so much of his people's money. Because if you look around here, okay, he had like 5 lakes dug. He had huge palaces built. The Faw Palace behind us is 450,000 square feet, built to celebrate a victory over Iran in the Iran-Iraq War. All these things he had built for himself, and that's just one of 8 palaces built just for hunting and recreation out of his 99 palaces. And it just amazes people how he could get away with it for so long, spending all his country's money on doing things like this. And most people are shocked about that.
I suppose everybody has their taste and their limits of taste or whatever else like that. It's hard to argue with the lap of luxury no matter what your taste is.